gamers, I am Blackjackx here with EGN here at the Melbourne Convention Centre for PAX Australia. Now over the weekend I will be joined by Jono and Loserfruit to check out some indie games, check out the cosplay and certainly show you what's around the stadium. Anyway, so stay with us, we'll meet you in there and we'll have a good weekend. Today Jono catches up with the team behind Star Citizen, while I head over to the Classic Gaming booth to talk all things retro. Later, we also walk across to the Wargaming booth to talk about World of Tanks and the upcoming alpha World of Warships. But first up, Jono talks to one of the producers from Bethesda about their upcoming game, Battlecry.
Hi guys, I'm Jono, I'm here with the eGaming Network and I'm talking to Rich. He's one of the producers on Battlecry, one of the latest games coming out from Bethesda. Rich, tell us a little bit about Battlecry.
Battlecry is a team action combat multiplayer game. It's kind of like Team Fortress 2 meets the brutality of 300.
Nice, that sounds like a really interesting matchup.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about where the name came from.
It's kind of like the thing you call before you go into battle. You know, it says, oh, perfect, let's do it.
That's cool. So do you have many unique battle cries in the game for each class or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely we'll have that in the game. For every faction we'll have their kind of unique little battle cry.
So tell us about the setting of it. It looks quite dystopian, but with a technology twist in there as well.
Yes, the setting is in 1914. It's kind of the time when empires were being formed, or just about ready to die in the world. And it was a great time, the Industrial Revolution, and right after post-Victorian era, we thought it was a great time to put in the game. And so we didn't want to make an FPS, so we came up with lore where gunpowder was banned 100 years ago and there are treaties signed by all the countries, and that they settle their differences in these war zones with warriors from each country, representing a different political conflicts that they have to solve.
So that would make for some interesting classes and factions in that case if you've already banned gunpowder. So what sort of classes in the game, what are your plans for the future in that regard as well?
Oh, absolutely. We have 5 classes right now. We have the Enforcer, which is a tank class. We have a Tech Archer, which is a range. We have a Brawler, which is really one-on-one combatant, kind of in your face. We have the Duelist, which is an assassin, and then we have the Gadgeteer, which is support. And then we'll be introducing more warriors during the process of the game.
Yeah, the Enforcer was definitely my favorite when I tried the game. It was a lot of fun to get in the middle of a massive team fight and start smashing stuff up. So just tell me a little bit about why you chose Australia and New Zealand to be the first place of the beta.
We like Australia. It's a very hardcore game audience. And we thought it would be a great place to start the smaller market before we get big and kind of work out the kinks.
Cool, that's great. So how can we sign up for the beta? Do we find you guys on social media?
Absolutely. You just find Battlecry the game and you'll look at it there, .au, and you'll see a beta sign up right there for all the Australians and New Zealanders.
Oh, excellent. So tell us a little bit about the factions in the game. We also heard a rumored 3rd faction might be coming out.
There are 3 factions. We only announced 2. And they are the Cossacks, which are the Russian faction, and the Royal Marines are the British.
The game being an arena-based setting, it certainly seems like it would have esports potential. Is this the sort of direction that you want to take the game in?
We're definitely going to have a lot of esports hooks into the game for people to take it that way. We're going to let our fans kind of decide on that. But we'll have private rooms, we'll have 5v5, we'll have 8v8, and we'll have 16v16, which will be the standard mode in the game. We're showing 8v8 here, but yes, we'll have probably a 5v5 mode as well. So again, leaderboards will be there, all sorts of second screens type stuff. So it's up to the players whether they want to make it that way. We hope they do.
Tell us a little bit about the beta schedule. What's the sort of planned rollout, and when can we expect an open beta or a release date?
Oh, absolutely. So we're going to roll out beta early next year. We kind of couldn't quite give a date yet. Early next year in 2015, we'll be in beta. And you know, we'll take our time to see how the game evolves, and if it gets to the point where it could go wider, we're going to go wider with it.
A little bit about your design influences with the game. It's got quite a distinct visual style, and I've heard from your team that there's quite a few people from TF2, even the Old Republic and other games in there. So tell us a little bit how you came up with the look and the feel of Battlecry.
Basically I work with Victor Antonov. He's our creative director. If everyone doesn't know who he is, he was the creative director for Half-Life 2, Team Fortress 2, and Dishonored. And so he's kind of helped the visual look here with working with our concept person, Francisco, who was the lead concept person for Pacific Rim. and he's pretty much working on the weapons and things and character design. So it's a pretty good group of people we have working on the look of the game.
So tell me a little bit about the platforms that you're likely to go out on. Are you aiming just on Steam, or what consoles are we likely to see you on as well?
We're definitely PC platform. We'll be out there for sure. You know, our game works with a control pad. I'll just leave it there. So it does work on both.
Cool, well that's great. Well, thank you for your time, Rich. We really look forward to trying Battlecry. You guys make sure you sign up for the beta at home. It's an AusNZ exclusive. We really want to make the most of this.
Today I have with me, Serby, Pete and Dave, all here with the classic gaming section here at PAX with some retro games. Serby, I'll start with you. What drives your passion for the retro gaming consoles?
Seeing other people enjoy it, and just takes me back, and you still have a lot of fun with your mates today, and yeah, just love it, can't get enough of it.
In Australia, it's not probably as big. There's still a good following for it. There's a lot in the US, so it's good to keep it alive here in Australia, and especially today, seeing heaps of older parents come in with their kids and seeing them play games, I guess for us that are all in our mid-30s, you know, getting to see them show their kids, you know, hey, check this out, here's Donkey Kong, here's Pac-Man, all the classics. It's just great to see it, to see where gaming's come from, and I guess to where it is now.
Favourite retro console and favourite retro game?
Okay, favourite retro console will probably be the Atari Jaguar. Love Atari, that's my favourite old company. And my favourite game is actually Gauntlet 2. And that was an arcade machine, one of the first four players I've ever seen as a kid. So that's what got me onto multiplayer gaming, which we'll enjoy today.
The Sega Dreamcast, and it's probably a bit newer than the others, but Shenmue. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one, but think of Grand Theft Auto today, of what it is, but that was around back in like 1999, 98, around that era. So Shenmue, it's an awesome story.
It's usually a question that I can't answer because I have too many favorite consoles and games. But if I have to pick the two, well, I would say PC Engine, the NEC PC Engine, and favorite game, Secret of Mana on the Super NES.
Serby, you were telling me earlier that we definitely don't want people to throw out old consoles.
No, absolutely not. Look, we all would all love to get donations, but if you've got even like magazines that you throw out, or if you've got consoles that are broken and can't be fixed, like we actually doing a panel today, show and tell panel, like taking you through the history of all generations of games. So, consoles and games. So those consoles we can use on stage for show and tell, and people can come up and look, so they don't have to be working. So everything can be used and reused and be given away to someone that will enjoy it.
Hi guys, I'm Jono. I'm here from eGaming Network with Severus. He's a volunteer at the Cloud Imperium Games booth. We're just here taking a look at Star Citizen. So tell us a little bit, Severus, about how the weekend's gone. How have people responded to Star Citizen here?
It's actually been fantastic. I think I've actually had to explain the game only about 8 or 9 times. So people really have got involved, know what the game is about. And of course, having Chris Roberts here, Aaron Roberts here, Sandy, and the rest of the team from CIG has been really good. They've been extremely generous with their time and talking to fans and backers alike. Last night, we had about 1,500 people off site. We did the first-person shooting demo reveal. If you haven't seen that, definitely go and check out that footage. I'm not an FPS guy myself, but the people that were just jaws were dropping. It was quite excellent, quite a great time.
Wow, definitely going to go and check that out.
Yep.
So Star Citizen is known as kind of the Kickstarter success story to an extent. How much have people, you said that not many people have had the game explained to them here, so how familiar was everyone?
Everyone was very, very familiar. To give you some sort of context, I think within the next couple of hours, we're likely to surpass $60 million worth of crowdfunded. Just goes to show how in-depth people are. And it gives you a whole different experience. We vote on how we want the game to develop. We give a lot of good feedback, and it's listened to. If you wanted, what kind of ship do we want next? Well, that's up to us to decide. And the guys at CIG have been absolutely fantastic at listening to the feedback, even redesigning ships. In fact, last night we had a reveal of a fan-made ship. We had a competition.
Oh, wow.
The Redeemer gunship actually won the competition by fans. It is now in-game. You can purchase it. Look around in your hangar, have a seat in the captain's chair. It looks pretty awesome.
So just for the guys who are watching this at home now,
Yep.
can you give us just a brief explanation of Star Citizen, just sort of your elevator pitch for the game?
Absolutely. It's a persistent universe. If you're familiar with Wing Commander, Privateer, or Freelancer, you'll kind of get the idea. You log on, you play with your ships. You might be a fighter, you might be a pirate, you might be a trader, or you might be sitting in the electronic warfare console of a major capital ship. It's a huge part of the game. So you really going to have to decide what you want to do. There's no levels, there's no skill points. It's all up to your natural skill and inclination about what you want to do.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Severus. It was cool to talk to you. We're really looking forward to playing Star Citizens. Make sure you check that out, guys.
Okay, welcome back, gamers. I am Blackjackx here with eGaming, here at the Wargaming booth here at PAX Australia. Now, with me today, I have Batman. Now, Batman actually plays for a team called PvP Super Friends. So, Batman, just a little bit about World of Tanks to start off with. Just run us through the basics of the game.
It's pretty much like any other FPS game, but this time, you don't need your fast reflexes to play it. All you need to do is concentrate, use your brains, use a lot of strategy, and wait for the reticle to go small, and just blow up any tanks you see in front of you.
Now, Batman, I know you yourself are actually a bit of a crowd favorite.
I don't know about that. I just wear the mask. Everyone loves it. I show my emotions when I play in the stage. I think that's how everyone should be playing. Every esports player should be playing. In sports, in real sports, when people make a goal, if people make a touchdown, if people make tries, they celebrate with all their emotions. So I think in esports, people should be doing that as well to make esports much bigger and more favorite to the crowd. Yeah.
And of course, yeah, we have mentioned the mask. I'm sure you've noticed it by now. How did you come up with the persona to take on Batman?
Oh well, there's a tank in World of Tanks which is named the Battlecry 25T. Yeah, that's my favorite tank. So when I moved to the Asian server and I saw that no one named themselves Batman, I was like, why be anyone else? If I can just be Batman.
Oh, absolutely, that is a great name. Now, of course, we do have a brand new alpha here at PAX at the moment. Can you tell me much about World of Warships at all?
I know very little about World of Warships, so I don't know if I can say anything about it, but I know it's gonna be a great game. So once it comes out, you guys have to try it.
Now, of course, I hope that everyone has tried it here today. If not, make sure you head over to wargaming.net, check out World of Tanks, check out the World of Warship Alpha, and just have a blast. Okay, so I'm going to say that concludes our weekend at PAX. So what we're going to do, we're going to play a bit of Pass the Mic now. We're just going to go around, starting with Travis. Just going to find out a couple of highlights about the weekend, maybe what your favourite game was that you played, or just what you really enjoyed about being down here.
I really enjoyed PAX Australia. Everything's wrapping up, the lights are coming on, and I had a chance. I didn't get a chance to play too much stuff because I was so interested in what was going on over here at the League of Legends booth. I did play Dragon Age Inquisition. I thought that was very fun. But overall, I just really enjoyed seeing the community here. The finals today for the tournament, huge crowd, awesome games. Went to best of 5. That was the highlight of PAX for me.
I was big into the indie games. One game called Screen Sheet, best game ever. All right, so you grow up playing FPS games, right? And you're like, I screen sheeted all the time, but I was never rewarded for it. But Screen Sheet, you're rewarded for it, and it's just the most satisfying feeling because I won a lot today.
Screen Sheet is an absolutely fantastic game. Spent a lot of time on that myself. Yet to beat you in a game, but that's all right. We'll see if we can change that over the next couple of weeks. Jono, moving on to you, mate. Highlight of PAX, what was it?
Oh, I have to echo Kat on the indie games. There's an amazing indie game scene here in Australia, and just going and browsing through them, the ability to just jump in and out. We don't have the long lines that you do for some of the other major names. It's just amazing. One particular one that I came across was Dungeon Land. Absolutely really loved that one. But perhaps the one thing that really stood out was one of the bigger games, a game called Battlecry. It's like an arena-based sort of team. It's reminiscent of Team Fortress 2, coming out from Bethesda, and they're doing an AusNZ beta to start off with. And it's just exciting to see us as a region really getting highlighted by a company like this. And the game itself looks so much fun.
Elizabeth, on to you. Highlight of the weekend.
Okay, that's an easy one. I have to say the cosplayers, they have been phenomenal this time. I think we broke a record at PAX for the most cosplayers, so I've heard on the grapevine there, so 170. It was insane. If you guys are watching the VODs for the games. If you watched it live, you would have seen the entire stage covered in cosplayers. They were fantastic, absolutely, and the amount of work and hard effort that they put into those, incredible. So that has definitely got to be my highlight, so congratulations, guys.
My highlight, I would have to say, well, apart from League of Legends, obviously, I'm a big World of Tanks player, so getting in there to testing the alpha of World of Warships was definitely one of the highlights. Not the only highlight, because obviously everything is awesome here at PAX. So, look, from EGN, a big thank you to everyone for watching. A big thank you for everyone helping out interviewing. And make sure that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as we bring you more coverage from PAX Australia. But till then, I'll see you at egamingnetwork.com.